Movies are typically some of the biggest and most popular blockbusters of the year, and when they are in theaters, loads of people flock to see what new magical adventure Disney has to offer. But there are also other Disney movies, the ones that never made it to theaters. Disney has a massive library of directed movie or DVD sequels that most people seem to forget about. I'm your host as always, K-Mac Time, and today we're going to take a look at 10 Disney directed DVD sequels that you totally forgot existed. Starting on our list is a sequel to an already lesser known Disney movie, Brother Bear 2, which was released in August of 2006. In the film, the adventures of the brother Kenai and Koda continue. While the first film dealt with Kenai's relationship with Koda, this one focuses more on the bond with a young human named Nita. Only 5 of the 6 original characters returned for the sequel, excluding Denai, because the voice actor Jason Reyes committed suicide in 2004. The movie received mixed reviews from fans and critics, currently sitting at a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. I personally couldn't get too much into this movie as it does some decent songs and has a plotline that isn't that bad. I definitely can see why this one was straight to DVD, however. Wasn't that special, wasn't that memorable. Next up is Tarzan 2, The Legend Begins, which was released in June of 2005. The film tells the story of a young Tarzan's adventure to discover who he really is. Glenn Close and Lance Henriksen reprise their roles as Kayla and Kerchak from the first film, while Harrison Chad, Brenda Great, and Harrison Fawn are the new voices for the younger version of Tarzan, Turk, and Tantor. Again, I don't really care for this one as it seemed to be forced cash grab of a movie. Currently it sits at 33% on Rotten Tomatoes and is definitely one of the more forgettable Disney sequels. 101 Dalmatians also got a direct-to-DVD sequel that is largely forgotten about called 101 Dalmatians 2: Patch's London Adventure. It came out in 2003 to pretty good reviews. I actually enjoyed the sequel a great deal as it did a great job of sticking to what made the original so good, while also adding in new characters and plot lines. The story focuses around one of the Dalmatian pups named Patch and his dream of meeting his idol, a TV hero named Thunderbolt. But of course, Cruella de Vil finds a way to capture him in hopes of turning his fur into high fashion clothing yet again. Overall, the movie is one of the better direct-to-DVD sequels I've ever watched, and it currently sits at a certified fresh 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. Cinderella actually has 2 direct-to-DVD sequels, but Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time is by far the superior of the 2. It was released February 6th, 2007 to high praise from fans and critics alike. The movie is a continuation of the original and picks up a year after the events of the first movie. Its plotline is actually very interesting and involves Lady Tremaine getting her hands on the fairy godmother's wand in order to go back in time to alter the glass slipper to fit Cinderella's sister Anastasia instead of Cinderella, therefore changing the timeline of the original movies. It is an interesting plotline and does a great job of bringing suspense into the mix. This is one of the higher rated Disney DVD sequels ever, and it currently sits at 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. Bambi also got its own DVD sequel back in 2006 called Bambi 2, and it was originally released in theaters but only in Argentina for a short period of time before being released on DVD in the United States. It sold over 2.6 million copies in the first week alone. The film takes place in the middle of Disney's original Bambi, with Bambi's father, the Great Prince of the Forest, dealing with the now motherless Bambi. The movie was originally titled Bambi and the Great Prince, but was renamed Bambi the Great Prince of the Forest, before later being renamed again to just Bambi 2. It is a middle-of-the-pack film and received decent reviews, but it currently sits at a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Another forgotten about movie is Pocahontas 2: Journey to a New World, which is a direct-to-DVD follow-up of the original that was released in 1998. While the first film dealt with her meeting John Smith and the arrival of British settlers to Jamestown, the sequel focuses on Pocahontas' journey to England with John Rolfe to negotiate for peace between the two nations. Although her death was omitted from the film, I kind of agree with that. Kind of would be a dark thing for Disney. Anyway, the film was universally panned by fans and critics alike, scoring a measly 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics point to a lack of emotional tension and a lower level of animation compared to the original, along with many historical inaccuracies. Pocahontas 2 is considered to be one of the worst Disney sequels of all time. Emperor's New Groove was one of my favorite Disney movies growing up, and it really was something new and original and had a host of amazing characters, including Krunk, who was voiced by Patrick Warburton. Disney liked his character so much that they decided to give it its own spin-off movie called Krunk's New Groove, and it was released in the year 2000, and it had most of the original voice cast, including David Spade as Cusco, Eartha Kitt as Yzma, and many more. However, other than having a very talented voice cast, the movie really has nothing else to offer. Its plotline is a jumbled mess, and it's pretty bad and awful writing, and the humor fails to land home most of the time. Critics absolutely destroyed this movie, giving it a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, claiming that, quote, Krunk works best in small doses and the film should never have been centered around him. This is definitely one of the more forgettable and variable Disney DVD sequels. Aladdin is one of the most loved Disney movies of all time, and it got not one but two direct-to-DVD sequels in the early 1990s. The first of which was very forgettable. It doesn't even have Robin Williams' voice of the genie. However, the third film, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, Robin Williams comes back to this role, and that was very important. He's a big part of this movie. Anyway, the film is inspired by the tale of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves from the 1001 Arabian Nights, replacing Ali Baba, of course, with Aladdin. And for the first time since the original Aladdin, the film was completely redone. It had a complete new soundtrack and not just using rearranged music from the first one or the TV series. I thought the movie was so-so at best. However, it was just okay. It was nothing really special compared to the original. Of course, the original will always be better. Currently, the movie sits at 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's one that you should give at least a watch. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are some of the highest rated movies of all time, with all three scoring 97 or above on Rotten Tomatoes. However, there is another movie in this timeline that is typically forgotten. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins is a direct-to-DVD spin-off of Toy Story that released in 2000. Set in the fictional universe of the Pixar film series Toy Story, the film is inspired by a line of Buzz Lightyear toys. The opening is computer-animated sequence was created by Pixar, and it looks just like the traditional films. However, the rest of the movie looks more like a traditional Saturday morning cartoon and is completely a different animation style, and it just doesn't look like a Pixar movie at all. It was the only spin-off Pixar film until 2013's Cars spin-off, Planes, which also sucked. But this movie scored a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's not bad for a spin-off movie. It is Pixar. I love Pixar. This is definitely one you guys should check out. And finally, one of the more memorable and best DVD sequels ever was Lion King 2, but there is another Lion King movie that is pretty much overlooked and forgotten. Lion King 1 1/2 was released in 2004, and it focuses on Timon and Pumbaa before and after the events of the original Lion King. Much of the original cast returned to reprise their roles in this film, and the movie actually got its own theatrical release internationally, but only in select cities in the United States for a limited time. This is one of the best DVD sequels Disney has ever done. I absolutely love the way the movie uses what is called frame story in order to shed light on new details in the original Lion King story. Rotten Tomatoes gave this one a certified fresh rating of 77%, and deservingly so. This is definitely one sequel that you guys need to see. It's absolutely amazing. If you guys have not seen this one, pick this one up. Lion King 2 is also very good. Probably two of the best, if out there, of the DVDs, direct sequels. But anyway, guys, that is all I have time for. I want to thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys did, make sure to hit that like button, as it really helps out my channel. I would really hope to shoot for at least 500 likes. If you guys can help me out, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, down in the comment section down below, let me know what your favorite Disney sequels are. They could be direct-to-DVD sequels or just normal sequels. I would love to read all the comments on that. Also, be sure to subscribe to get more Disney content in your sub boxes daily. Check out some of my previous videos. I've done all kinds of Disney stuff. We got Disney shows coming out in 2017, new Disney movie coming out in 2017, all kinds of fun and amazing stuff happening in the world of Disney. I also did a video on Disney toys. That was pretty interesting. And let me know if there's anything else that you guys would want to see. Checking all those videos out. Hopefully, like I said, you guys enjoyed. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until next time, take it easy and peace out.
Ninja.